Okay, thank you. This is a joint work with Frank Nielsen, and I will speak about multilinear algebra of tensor and asymptotic statistics. So the problematic of interest is the performance in terms of minimal base error probability for detection of a random tensor. This is a severely understudied problem because an analytic expression of the error probability is generally not tractable. Some related works are listed here. About the Chernoff upper bound, so the cube, and the error exponent in the doubly asymptotic regime. The doubly asymptotic regime means that the tensor sizes and the number of parameters of interest grow jointly in a control way. And we have to notice that this problem has been studied in the context of matrix, not tensor, but matrix-based sensing model by Boyer and Nielsen. But the case of interest in this work is to derive the cube and the error exponent for random tensor following a higher order SVD decomposition. So we consider a standard equiprobable Gaussian distributed hypothesis detection test, and we will see that under the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis, the distribution is Gaussian, and only the covariance matrices are different. We define the error probability by two terms. The first term is the probability to decide the null hypothesis, and in the same time we know that the alternative hypothesis is right. And the second term is to decide the alternative hypothesis knowing the null hypothesis. And the detection test here is the log likelihood ratio test. So the cube is given by the expression on the top. So the error probability, which is defined as the expected minimum of two likelihood functions, is upper bounded by the cube, and the cube is the tightest upper bound for this error probability. And for over S, for over parameter S, we can obtain over relaxated upper bound as shown on the right. But the main objective here, for one of the goal, is to derive the S star, which is the best, which gives the best exponentially DC rate, and S star belongs to the interval 0, 1. So we define the error exponent for Gaussian hypothesis according to the Stein lemma. So the limit over n of the logarithm of the error probability divided by n. So this limit gives the error exponent, and we know we recognize that the S divergence mu is considered at the S star point, and we give here the S divergence, and we can see that this divergence is parameterized by the covariance matrix under the null hypothesis and the covariance matrix under the alternative hypothesis. So we consider here the canonical polyadic decomposition with random amplitude. This means that the tensor X is exactly the sum of R rank 1 tensor as illustrated in the graph. And so this is for Q for a free order tensor, the graph. And we consider amplitude SR as a random variable and independently distributed with a variance sigma S square. So we have to obtain the binary hypothesis test and the S divergence for the CPD model. By doing this, we vectorize the noise-free, the noisy tensor Y, and we build a matrix phi, which is the Catril-Rao product of individual matrices phi q to phi 1. So based on this observation, on this vector, we have the binary hypothesis test. So under the null hypothesis, the SNR is equal to 0. And in this case, the observation vector follows a normal distribution with a covariance matrix equal to sigma square times the identity matrix. And under the alternative hypothesis, the observation vector for a SNR different to 0 follow a normal distribution with this covariance matrix, so sigma 1 here, and where we recognize the SNR and the matrix, the structure matrix phi. And finally, we give the S divergence for an observation vector of length n. And this is a log-det type divergence. So there is no figure. Okay. Normally there is 4 figures. Okay. Donc, here we define the empirical spectral measure by Qn lambda, and this empirical spectral measure finally count the number of eigenvalue of the matrix phi transpose. So in the conventional case, R is fixed and n goes to infinity, and in this case, the empirical spectral measure converge to a non-random measure associated to the Dirac density. But in this work, we consider the non-conventional scenario due to Marchenko and Pastur. So we consider that R and n goes jointly to infinity with an aspect ratio, with an asymptotic finite aspect ratio. So R over n goes to C. So in this case, the empirical spectral measure converge almost surely toward a deterministic measure whose density is the well-known Marchenko-Pastur law. And the Marchenko-Pastur law is recalled by function f. And lambda minus and lambda plus is the support of the law. So, knowing the Marchenko-Pastur law, it is possible to derive a closed form to this expression here. So the log-det of this expression, and this is an important term in the Chernoff, in the S divergence. So this term converges to this integral, where we use here the Marchenko-Pastur law. So this is the standard framework, but recently we have extended this result to a structural matrix. So phi is structured in the sense that phi is the Catril-Rao product of individual matrices, phi q to phi 1. And in this case, this key quantity converge almostly to the function phi, psi c of x, and the function is given here. And this function is parameterized by c, and by the support of the Marchenko-Pasteau law. So based on this result, it is possible to give the S divergence mu S according to the previously introduced function psi here. Okay, so we have a simple expression, and we can obtain approximated analytic expression for a limit case. So this means that here we consider C much lower than 1, and in this case the S divergence can be approximated to this very simple expression. Okay, and this expression is only parameterized by CS and the SNR, and we can easily deduce the stationary point S star according to this expression, and this expression is only a function of the SNR. So here we consider we follow the same methodology as for the CPD, but we apply the methodology to the higher order singular value decomposition. So now we have to consider a set of orthonormal matrices U1 to UQ, and the tensor, the Q order tensor, is the product, the n-mode product. So by a core tensor S bar, the first mode product by U1, the second mode product by U2, etc. So we vectorize the tensor Y, and by doing this, we compute a large matrix U, which is the Kronecker product of individual matrices UQ to U1. And we have also to introduce a projector P, which is defined as the product of U transpose, and this projector is the Kronecker product of the individual projector PQ, and PQ is defined here. So the main result on the error exponent and the optimal S parameter is given in this slide. So we modify the statistics test 2 in the sense that now we consider the alternative hypothesis given here, and in fact we have replaced the product phi transpose by the projector P. And in this case, the error exponent and the optimal S parameter are given here. And it is interesting to remark that the approximation of the error exponent given by expression 3 in the here. So this is for C much lower than 1. In this case, this approximation holds exactly, and the S divergence is exactly equal to this simple expression. And in the same spirit, the S star, which is the global minimizer of mu S, is exactly given by expression 4, and so by expression here, which is very simple because this is only a function of the SNR. Recall the fundamental inequality. The error probability is lower bounded by the tightest bond, the cube, and another popular bond is the Bhattacharya upper bond, and we obtain this upper bond by choosing S equal to 1.5. So we consider two limit regimes. At low SNR, the tightest divergence, so the cube, coincide with the Bhattacharya upper bond. And at contrary, for larger SNR, the S star, so the optimal S parameter, is close to 1. So in this case, the Bhattacharya hyperbond is a losing bond in this regime. Ouais, on a un graphe. So in this graph, we can see S star versus the SNR. And for lower SNR, we can see that S is close to 0.5. And for higher SNR, we can see that S grows to 1. And in blue, this is numerical optimization. And in red, this is the analytical solution. So I conclude. So the first point is the derivation and the analysis of the performance in terms of minimal base error probability for the detection of a random core tensor. The second point is the error exponent and the optimal S parameter for the detection of a tensor X that follow a higher order SVD. And this expression, so the analytic expression, can be interpreted in the context of the random tensor theory. And the random tensor theory is an extension of the well-known random matrix theory. And finally, an important conclusion of this work is that the Bhattacharya hyperbond is the tightest bond at low SNR, but at contrary, this property is no longer true for higher SNR. Thank you.